everybody, this is Yaja Peppy Parke. It's a wonderful spring day and I'm coming to you live from Irie Bar and Grill, located inside the Woodmore Town Shopping Center in Lanham, Maryland. Today we're here 1 week before our major event celebrating Women's Her Story Month, Women of Wonder. Wow! And we're going to have a fashion show rehearsal. We'll be talking to a few people who you've seen on Pep Talk before and some who you have not seen. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. So, Brother Farouk, thank you so much for coming to the show.
To be in these places at the time that. So yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Because, hear what happened now. I told you the Jamaican accent was going to come out. I'd love to be able to name all the bands, and I can. But I know I'm going to miss.
You've been called selfless, you've been called kind, loving, all kinds of stuff. We know you're passionate about. Talk about your little 10-month-old son.
Yeah.
Talk about that, your pride and joy, of course.
I love my son. His name's Jawari, and he was born on Christmas Day.
Wow. Hi everybody, this is Yaja Peppy Parke with my girl
Raquel Brown-Gaston, the author.
and we are live inside Irie Bar and Grill as we count down the days for a big event, Women of Wonder, wow, which is taking place on Saturday, March 30th, 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. And we are also here because we're doing the rehearsal for the fashion show by Simply Cecily. The models are getting ready to rip the runway at Jackie. Jackie, come here a second, real quick. Here comes Jackie and Ethelyn, two of the models who will be ripping the runway Saturday, March 30th, right here at Irie Bar and Grill. You saw this young lady on Pep Talk before. What's been happening since we last rapped?
Oh, since we last rapped, I've been just working and hanging out with my friends, trying to figure out my next move. But definitely just still enjoying life.
And of course, we have the recently married Ethelyn Cohen Simpson representing her charity in Kenya. How does it feel to be a model again in another Peppy production?
It's always wonderful being a model. I think I still have it at my age.
And you can have it at any age. Just come down to Irie Bar and Grill Saturday, March 30th, 6 days away. 6 p.m. to midnight. It's our way of saying Happy Women's Her Story Month, and we want you here with us. For more information, hit us up on the Facebook or just go to peppypromotions.com. And we're back, everyone, and I have with me the beautiful and mother-to-be, Cecily Hebimana, who is a fashion designer, and I've been knowing her for a while. Had no idea that she was into fashion. I recently found out, and her stuff is amazing. Cecily, tell us a little bit about your inspiration for becoming a fashion designer.
I started designing in high school, and I've always loved African fabrics. So I basically started making clothes for my friends and family and such, and started selling them in boutiques in high school. For a while I stopped just because I went to grad school, and but then right after grad school I went to Senegal for a year and taught, and I got that spark again. So I import my fabrics from Senegal. And and the inspiration comes directly from the fabric.
Okay, and when did you officially launch Simply Cecily?
Simply Cecily came about in high school.
Okay.
One day I was sitting in the basement. I was like, Mom, I want to do this for real. I like designing clothes. And so I asked her, I was like, well, what should our name be? And she was like, Simply Cecily. And I was like, I like it. And so we just moved on into the conversation. Since then, I had been doing all the work myself, so I'd been designing and making the clothes. But this spring, we worked with a manufacturer to manufacture the designs. So this is our first time manufacturing my designs, and it's great.
It's great, beautiful. And what are the sizes for the women out there who are watching? It's African inspired. They're absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you're going to see some of them coming up. What sizes do you cater to?
It's small through extra large.
Okay.
So everything you see will be available for sale. I have some clothes in like 3 boutiques in DC. There's actually one not too far from here in the same shopping mall. It's called Gallery Africa.
Oh, wow.
And then I have another store in Baltimore. But I'm also selling on my website, simplycecily.com. Okay. So you can check it out there and you can make your purchases.
Okay, well, DC is an area that has a lot of these fashion shows that comes to DC, fashion in DC. What can we expect from you as you push out some more with the Simply Cecily?
I'm going to continue in that direction. I've gotten a lot of requests for plus size clothing. So as soon as we really get this part launched and sustainable, we can go into some larger sizes. I've gotten a lot of requests for men's clothing too. Okay. So I'm not sure, I'd love to do it, but I just have to, figure out what the men's look will be.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. And again, one more time for folks who are watching and like to get more information, give us that website and contact information one more time.
Okay, the website is simplycecily.com, and you can go on there and find more of our contact information. It has all of the boutiques where you can find the clothing as well as you can purchase things.
Beautiful. And like I said, Cecily is a woman of wonder. It's my pleasure rapping with her. Look out for all of the things that's great about Simply Cecily and all the women who we featured on this special edition. We are back, and I'm rapping with the beautiful Ethlyn Cohen Simpson about her fundraiser that she just had on in February for Black History Month, as Ethlyn has a charity in Kenya that she supports. Care to tell the listeners a little bit about Ethlyn's Hope Resource Center?
You're missing a word. It's actually called Ethlyn's Hope Children's Resource Center, and it's in the Nyanza Providence in Kenya. And it's an orphanage that I started about 2 years ago, actually building for 60 kids who's going to be living there. In addition to that, I've also committed myself to provide some kind of a medical care on a ongoing basis to the children and other people who live in this village. So I had a fundraiser in the month of February for Black History Month, and the fundraiser was very well supported. And in addition, I'm having a concert coming up on April 13th, which also will raise funds towards its medical mission. And then the third fundraiser for the year prior to the mission will be in June. That will be my birthday celebration. And so this year, the medical mission will leave on the 11th of September. We'll be working for either 4 or 5 days to provide medical care to the children and the people of the village. We're hoping to bring a medical team which include a pediatrician, a dentist, and a general practitioner. I'm also hoping that we can bring ophthalmologists also on the journey. In addition, we have some nurses going with us. And we're hoping to provide care for quite a few hundred people while we're there.
Okay, beautiful. And for folks who are watching, if they want to get involved, like support, what are some of the needs that you have as you get ready to go to Kenya in September?
Well, the needs right now are medical supplies. That's what I would need, especially blood pressure medication, because that's one of the big needs in the area. And, if people want to make monetary contribution, of course, it's very expensive to go to Kenya, and we're going to have expenses on the ground when we get there. So if anybody want to make any donation, they're free to do so.
Okay, they're free to do so. We'd love that. But let's talk a little bit about the purpose of you doing all of this. I know that you've gone to Africa before to volunteer your services. You're in the medical field. What inspired you to start giving back to those who are less fortunate?
Well, I've always been a giver back to people who are less fortunate. I've been on several medical missions from Jamaica to Haiti, Panama, all over the globe, really. I was drawn to Kenya when I was working on a master's degree, and I went there as part of my practicum, and I just fell in love with the people, the culture, and they just embraced me. And I saw where I really could make a difference in the lives of people who are so deserving of, good medical care and just somebody reaching out to help, to lend them a helping hand. And so I got involved with this group of ladies who I'm working with, and so far the support has been tremendous. I have done several fundraisers in the last 3 years, and have raised quite a few $1,000s to give towards this group. And my goal is to try to get this orphanage finished and to have the kids move in, and also to continue doing the medical mission on a yearly basis so we can go to the village, and this will be something that they can look forward to, that at least, once a year a team is coming in who's going to provide some kind of comprehensive care. My goal is also to move the mission from it just being a medical to also providing surgical services, because I do have quite a few friends who do surgeries who would love for us to go there, but right now I'm concentrating on just the medical part of it, and hopefully we can move towards doing surgeries also, especially eye surgery, orthopedic surgery, and those kind of things.
Okay, well, we want to commend you for all the wonderful work that you're doing, especially giving back in Africa. Of course, you are a woman of wonder. We will see you in a different light on March 30th as you rip the runway modeling Simply Cecily Designs. On a personal note, I know that you just got married. Behind every strong woman should be a strong man. So let's talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about how your life has changed since you've gotten married.
My life has changed tremendously since I got married. With me doing all of this volunteering and medical missions, at one point it was just me doing all of this. But now I have somebody with me who supports me all the way. I mean, when I don't remember to pray for the kids, he's always praying. He's always saying, whatever you need to get done, I'm there with you. When we have the fundraiser, he's the first one jumping in the kitchen, doing whatever he needs to get done. So it's really changed my life. I am truly blessed to have a wonderful man standing with me.
That is beautiful. We want to shout out to that wonderful man, Bobby to the Simpson. And then, of course, we want to commend Ethlyn again for all the wonderful work that she has done. I had the privilege of going to feed the homeless with her when it was very, very cold. So I just wanted to tell you on camera that you really inspire me too, When I grow up, I want to be just like you. How about that?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. And just one last thing before you leave. If folks want to get more information and contact you, how can they do so?
Well, thanks to Peppy, I am finally on Facebook. So you can reach me. It's Ethlyn Cowan Simpson on Facebook. And I also have a email address, 2010gmu@gmail.com. You can feel free to
Welcome back,
contact
everyone.
me.
I am joined by the lovely Raquel Brown Gaston. We're inside Irie Bar and Grill as we prepare for our event entitled Women of Wonder. Now, a lot of you should remember Raquel from season 1 when she told us about her debut book entitled Deadly Instincts. Raquel, what's been happening since the last time we spoke?
Okay, so a lot has happened since then. The book has been revamped. We have a new ending. We have more characters. We have more storyline. So we have more plot development. We have more character development. So the interesting part of this was that the book has transformed into this life of its own. And so I always thought this whole journey was about the book, but I've actually come to discover that was the journey of Raquel. So as the book transformed, so did she.
Okay, that's good. We love transformation, especially for Women of Wonder. Do you care to share some of this transformation? I mean, you look amazing. Let me just say that. I know you have a new hairstyle. I don't know. You're just all bubbly and stuff. And so, tell us a little bit about this transformation.
Okay, so one of the things that I had to discover, which was very painful, is that 3 years ago, when I first came on your show, I thought at that time that the book was basically ready to be introduced to the world. And so basically what happened was most of the times when something has to grow, it involves remolding and reshaping, which sometimes come with pain. So that led to many sleepless nights. Like, do it again, Raquel, change of character, change of story, like, do it again, and so the path of becoming a bestseller, I've come to realize, is not one that is easy, because like a painter, you have this responsibility to depict what's the word I'm looking for? Reality as perfect as possible. But most importantly, you have a responsibility to your fans. And so it is that that I use to go back to rewrite and revamp and re-edit and repolish so I can give the world the best of Raquel as she is right now.
Beautiful, beautiful. So for those people who are your fans, like myself, who has read the book Deadly Instincts before, we thought it was amazing. We felt like we were in the movies. You have revamped this book. So is the storyline different? Do we buy the book again to read the same story, develop more, or are there any surprises that we need to know about?
There are surprises in the book. For example, the book has a different ending.
Okay.
You have new characters. The plots are way more developed. So you may want to purchase the book again. Now, here's the thing. And I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm a lady of principle. But if you have purchased the book before and you can bring me your old copy, I will give you a complimentary copy of the new version. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. And for those of you who want to get first dibs on that, you have to come to Women of Wonder at Irie Bar and Grill, where Raquel will be signing these new books. Now tell us a little bit about how folks can contact you if they want to big you up for what you're doing in the community. I know you're doing some other stuff. We don't have time to talk about the wonderful woman that you are and all the stuff that you're juggling. Big ups to her son Shiloh. Big ups to Bella. But how can folks get in touch with you to have a personal conversation with you?
Okay, so I have my website, which is Raquel Brown Gaston, RACQEL Brown Gaston. Then you can find me on Twitter, which is at RBGaston1. Or I have a fan page on Facebook, which is called Raquel Brown Gaston, the author. Now, the really cool thing about the book, Rosie, is that we're going to start to do the movie production next year. So the book has just taken on a whole new life. And so I just want to say thank you for all of you out there who have made this moment possible. And I cannot do it without you. And I'm looking forward to continue on this journey to new heights with you.
Beautiful. There you have it. Deadly Instincts is no longer just a book. It's going to be a movie. Are you going to cast me in the role? I asked you that the last time. Yes or no?
Darling, of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my movie debut. Of course, we always want to keep supporting women like Raquel Brown Gaston. For more information, she's on Facebook, and she does also have the Deadly Instincts group. So join up, and we'll talk to you another time when we get back to you on Pep Talk.
Look what you do.
Yeah, talk to them. Thank you for sticking and staying with us, everyone. We are back, and I'm rapping with the beautiful Etlin. What's Etlin? Cowan Simpson. You never know. So you think some me talk to you? Yeah, talk to them. What this? It's not bad. Okay, what are we doing? Jesus. Yeah. Tell me when you're ready. Sorry. You caught me down again.
I can make a camera man laugh. How wrong we do?
All right. 5, 4, 3,